The cafeteria inside the forward operations base was alive with laughter and chatter, trays clattering, boots scraping, the smell of coffee and grease filling the air. It was the one place even the toughest soldiers dropped their guard for a moment. Then she walked in. Her uniform was simple. No name tag, no rank patch, just a black tactical jacket over a desert camo undershirt. Her hair was tied tight, her expression unreadable. Every SEAL at the table turned their heads. She didn't seem like the type to belong there, not with the confidence in her stride and the calm that followed her. "Hey, ma'am," one of the SEALs said with a grin, tilting back in his chair. "You look a little lost. What's your rank, soldier?" The other men chuckled. It was meant as a harmless tease, something they'd say to any unfamiliar face walking into their mess hall. She stopped, turned slowly toward him. The laughter faded a bit as her eyes met his, sharp, precise, cold as the barrel of a rifle. "My rank," she repeated quietly, setting her tray down on the table. The metallic sound echoed far louder than it should have. "That's classified." The SEAL smirked, leaning forward. "Classified? Huh, what are you, some kind of ghost op?" That's when she reached into her jacket pocket, and slid a small, sealed envelope onto the table. The front was stamped in bold red, classified red, eyes only, Joint Command. The laughter stopped. The officer nearest her blinked, his hand instinctively going to his earpiece. Another SEAL rose halfway from his chair. The woman's tone never shifted. "Those orders were meant to be delivered to the Joint Tasking Command," she said evenly. "But it seems I found their advance team first." The senior SEAL at the table, a lieutenant commander, stood up fully now. His face drained of color. "You're saying you're..." She cut him off with a nod. "Attached under Black Dagger authorization. Code red clearance." A heavy silence swept through the room. Forks froze mid-air. Even the kitchen staff peered over from behind the counter. No one spoke. Finally, the lieutenant commander drew a slow breath, straightened, and saluted. "Ma'am." Only then did she allow herself the faintest hint of a smile. "At ease, Commander," she replied. "We've got a long night ahead. You'll want your team ready in 10. As she turned and left, the red seal on the table caught the light, glaring like fresh blood. No one dared make another joke. The silence that followed her exit from the cafeteria was heavy, almost tangible. The SEALs exchanged uncertain glances. Men who had faced gunfire without flinching now looked like rookies caught out of formation. Lieutenant Commander Brooks was the first to move. "You heard her," he barked, snapping out of it. "Gear up and report to the war room. Move." Chairs scraped. Boots thundered across the floor. The laughter that had once filled the cafeteria was gone, replaced by tension that crackled like static. When they entered the war room, the lights were dimmed, screens glowing with live feeds from satellite relays and drone surveillance. Maps stretched across the walls, dotted with red markers that indicated something big, something they hadn't been briefed on. And she was already there. She stood at the head of the central table, now in full tactical gear. The same red-sealed envelope lay open before her, and a digital tablet displayed encrypted mission data that none of them had clearance to access, until now. "Close the doors," she ordered. Brooks hesitated for only a second before signaling the guards. The heavy metal doors slid shut with a clang that echoed through the room. "Ma'am," Brooks began carefully, "you'll forgive the question, but we weren't told about any code red operations. In this sector, you weren't supposed to be," she replied, not looking up. "Until 2 hours ago, this mission didn't exist." A murmur rippled through the room. She tapped the tablet, and the wall screens flickered, revealing live satellite images of a heavily fortified compound deep in the desert, marked with crimson overlays. "This," she said, "is Site Epsilon. An unauthorized weapons transfer hub, unknown to NATO, unregistered in CIA logs, and buried under 5 levels of false intel." One of the SEALs frowned. "Who runs it?" She finally looked up, eyes sharp as a blade. "We do, or at least, someone pretending to." The room fell deathly quiet again. 3 hours ago, she continued, our comms intercept confirmed that an insider in U.S. command structure authorized the movement of stolen ordnance through Epsilon. My orders are to find out who, and neutralize them before the next transfer leaves the ground. Brooks crossed his arms. "You're talking about internal betrayal on a global op level. I'm talking," she corrected coldly, "about someone with clearance high enough to hide it." She turned to face them fully. "You're not here because you volunteered. You're here because every other team was compromised." The weight of her words sank in. The screens dimmed. The only sound was the low hum of the tactical servers. From this point forward, she said, voice steady and commanding, everything said in this room is under classified red authority. No records, no comms, no mistakes. She paused, scanning their faces, hardened warriors, now deadly serious. Welcome to the real war.